Hello, welcome back. My name is Jay Oza. I teach, mentor, and coach people on public speaking so that they can get winning high stakes speeches, whether it's for a job interview, a business or sales meeting, or even at a conference in front of a lot of people. Today I'm going to focus on an executive tip. As an executive, one of the most important thing for your success, for your company's success, is hiring. And hiring is a very important function. You not only have to attract talent, but then you also have to provide good experience for the talent that you're interviewing. And there's one question that you should ask all the people that are going to interview a candidate, ask at the end. And that is a very simple question to ask. It is, do you think this interview was fair? That's it. If the person says yes, excellent. If the person says no, what is it that I should have asked you that I have not asked? Are there any specific questions that you think I should have asked that I didn't ask that you want to take time to address it? And give the person 2, 3 questions that should have been asked and let them address it so that after that, so now would you say that this interview was fair? Fairness is very important because one of the things is, as I always tell people when they're interviewing, that an interview is actually a proxy for a job. The way you interview should be the way you're going to work. An interview cannot just be an interrogation where you just answer questions. It should be the way you handle the entire interview. And that's a very important thing. But that also applies on the other side for employers. If you're not tough, if you're not fair, and if you're not kind, then I don't want to work for you. So as an executive, you have to make sure that when you're interviewing, you're tough, fair, and kind, and all the people that are going to interview the candidate are also tough, fair, and kind. I think the candidates know that this is a competitive. There are going to be other candidates, and you want to make sure that you're getting the right candidate. But the one thing the candidate should walk away knowing is that the process was fair, and you're going to do a correct evaluation. And if there are other competitors, let the candidate know. Look, we like you a lot, but there are other candidates, so we're going to look at them, and then we're going to make a decision. Be upfront, be transparent. I think one of the things that candidates do not like is the lack of transparency on where they stand. Let them make the decision. If it's a competitive position, let the candidate know that this is a competitive position. Our process is the following. We're looking at 2, 3 candidates, and if we like you, we'll let you know, the next day. We're not going to waste a lot of time. And if we don't like you, we'll tell you why we're not going to move forward and some of the reasons. Let the person know that you have been fair. Because when you're fair, that person will have a good experience. Even though the person may not get the job, may not like it that he didn't get the job, he or she didn't get the job, but at least he'll tell the person, I didn't get the job, but I felt like they were fair. And if you feel the candidate just wasn't suitable for the position he or she interviewed for, then let the person know that you made a good impression. We're going to keep you in mind and let us know in 6 months your situation. If it has changed, we may look to see if we can help you out. That's the kind of relationship you want, because you don't want the person leaving thinking like, oh man, I just wasn't treated well. It reflects poorly on you as an employer. And you don't want that, because today, if that person feels like he was treated well, he had a good experience, but you were fair to him, saying, look, there's another candidate we're going to look at. If that doesn't work out, we'll let you know, and we'll tell you if there's anything you could have done to increase. Sometimes you just can't do anything, right? We don't know. But let the person know that if there were 2 positions, you would have gotten the job. That's the way I look at it. Anybody that you're bringing in for a face-to-face interview better be a candidate that if there were positions available, you would hire them. Unfortunately, sometimes you don't. If there's one position and you're bringing in two people, well, you cannot sometimes create a new position. Sometimes companies do that. And if the two of them are outstanding candidates, you may want to create two positions, because sometimes it's just not a good idea to lose talent, because you don't know what the talent can do for you. Okay? So you got to really think about this. You just don't want to interview like many companies do. Otherwise, you're not going to grow. The way you interview is also reflects on what kind of company you're running. Similarly, with the candidate interviews reflects the way they are going to be as a potential hire. So it works both ways, but as an executive, you got to get your act together. You can't just wing it. Interviewing is not about winging it. Interviews are very important. It could be the make or break for your company, the talent that you bring in. And that one talent could be the difference maker. So you don't know who that's going to be. You just got to create that great experience for the candidate. And fairness is a very important part. You can be tough. Hey, let the candidate know this is going to be a tough interview, because we want to make sure that, at the end you're running a business. You have to succeed. So you have to be tough. This is all about business. Nobody's guaranteed. This is not entitlement. Everybody has to perform. And part of your responsibility is to be tough, because at the end you're responsible for the interest of the company for whom you're working. Similarly, you want to be fair. The person has to feel like, hey, I was treated fair. And that one question at the end is very important. If there's one or two questions that should have been asked that you did not explore, let the interviewee tell you, here are some areas that should have been explored that weren't explored. Okay? And then be kind. Treat the person well, because that person deserves to be treated well, because he came to meet with you. And that reflects on you as a company, you as an executive. So this is one thing you cannot just take it lightly. You've got to spend some time thinking about, what does your interview process look like? What are the people saying? The ones that get hired and the ones that don't get hired. And keep in touch with the ones that you do not hire, because you want to know, where was the mistake made? Like, if somebody does not join your company, just tell them, listen, we'll stay in touch, because at some point we just can't bring in that many people. We don't have that many openings, but we'd like to stay in touch. If something comes up, we'd be happy to get in touch with you. And that's kind of what happened to me when I once interviewed with Oracle. I might have mentioned it in the previous videos. I interviewed with this one department. Her name was Sandra. And Sandra thought very highly of me, that she actually, after 6 months, gave my name to another manager saying, hey, listen, this guy made a good impression. See if he's available. And I got a call, and the person didn't call me directly. He somehow went to the recruiter, because I don't think he wanted to waste time calling me, whether I was available. So he gave my name to a recruiter, said, hey, can you check this person? He made a good impression, and if he's interested, I'd like to interview. And that recruiter contacted me, and I ended up joining Oracle. And I ended up working for this excellent manager named Greg. So this is the kind of system you got to have, because interviewing is becoming more and more critical to company success. And executives have to really spend time thinking about their process. Is it really good? Ask about people who are joining, and also the people that are not joining. What is their overall experience of the way into it? Do you have somebody follow up with them? Ask them, sorry you didn't get the job, but we want to make our process better. And only do it for candidates that you know that you would have hired if that position was available. Okay? I hope this helps, because interviewing is somehow getting more and more difficult, and I see a lot of people out there that I coach are not happy with the way they're being treated. And I think that it shouldn't be like that. Let me know what you think. And thank you for watching. And if I can be of any help, just let me know. Good luck.